What's up, what's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we discuss the art, science, and business of comedy with comedians and comedian adjacent. With this episode's guest, Glen Dunzweiler. It's time to get down and get dope with Done Way Past Funny. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humourist and host of Done Way Past Funny. This is the conclusion of our interview with comedian adjacent Glen Dunzweiler. Enjoy. It's because usually I have like a comedy clip, a performance clip, and then they tell jokes and say, so what do you think of this joke? What do you now, then, whatever? And so it's totally different. But it seems to be working. Nobody's complained yet. No.
Yeah. It's funny to hear me clipped like that because I want to cut out the fat of all of everything I produce. I want to get to the point. My father always would say, "What's your point?" So every time, especially when I do that podcast, I think, "What is the point? Let's get to the meat." You don't need to sit through 5 minutes of me blustering. But I obviously have a combination. This one. What?
Yeah.
This is welcome to difficult questions. This one, here's the question. Yeah. Let's get into it. We're not waiting around for anything. No introductions, just get into it.
Yeah, that's I guess that's like the no foreplay aspect. It's like there's no foreplay. We're just going to get right into it. No foreplay. And yeah. I am and my delivery is more like there's so much foreplay because I don't know you're really going to like the actual performance.
Yeah. Well, and funny, I would always, my girlfriends would always become friends first, and I kind of float in and out of relationships. And what I realized was that whole foreplay thing of not definitively saying what you want is that titillation. If it goes wrong, it gets people in trouble. So
yeah.
I always thought, well, forget that. You're my friend. What do you want? Are we having sex right now? What do you want? Are we gonna you just want to kiss me right now? What are we doing? And they would always,
just just for the record, all I want to do is interview right now.
Yeah. And they would say, Glenn, you're so weird. Like, why do we need a prompt before getting intimate? It's like, because I need to know what I'm getting into. And I want everyone to know what they're going to get into. So this one, we're doing this.
Now, with your storytelling, were there other storytellers that you saw and went, that's what I'm going to do? Or was it just, you had something inside of you to come out and it just naturally came out as being a storyteller?
I started being a forced storyteller, being a university professor, because now you're up in front of people and you're trying to convey.
Which university?
UNLV, so Las Vegas, UC Riverside, and then CSU San Bernardino, so Nevada and California. But then I realized that I had bad habits presenting, and I wanted notes on those when I stopped teaching. So then I started doing Toastmasters. I don't know if you're
I'm familiar with Toastmasters. I know quite a few people who took Toastmasters and also comedy workshops for the same thing, to learn how to publicly speak.
Yeah. So Toastmasters was great in giving me rules.
Right.
But then after about a year and a half, I just got really tired of the rules. And at that time, I found storytellers in Los Angeles. I started going to storytelling shows, and it just kind of all clicked. I had some storytelling exposure a couple years prior. Got coached by a storyteller, but I didn't really know still what it was. I was familiar with one-person shows. So I grew up in the 90s with John Leguizamo. I loved him,
right,
and his Broadway stuff. But I didn't know this shorter format storytelling. When I found that, I thought this is what I want to do. And they were 5 minute, 7 minute, 8 minute, 15-minute stories from people. And they all had different, each person, because their personality led their storytelling style. Each person, it was a different theatrical experience. And I thought, this is amazing. This is a variety performance.
Right.
And uh, I would say some of the tighter storytellers in LA have an acting background, so they're used to memorizing lines and embodying those lines.
Right.
So they write their stuff and then they perform their stuff like it is coming from them, but it is so tight
Right.
that it's amazing. I think, wow, this is cool. And that's very much a kind of a heightened performance style almost. And that's absolutely acceptable. There are a couple of them. I had one at my show, Vicky Uditz, hashtag Vicky Uditz. She's awesome. She's just on her own planet. She does her own thing and she's frenetic, but very memorized. She was an actor for a long time. And then there are more of like the comedic performances, the more of the connection, the flubs, the stopping yourself and kind of sitting in a moment with someone that's not so rehearsed or doesn't feel so rehearsed.
Right.
Those are amazing storytellers in their own right. There's a writer that does stuff, Emerson Dameron. I met him. He's now, I think, in Chicago, but he was in LA, and he's a writer. He reminds me a lot of Hunter S. Thompson. He's a wordsmith. He told this story at one of my early Franks. I have him on my channel, about him rescuing a bee in a pool. And it was the coolest story about the smallest event, and so his specialty was just kind of this world building, this different world building. We're now in the world of Emerson Dameron. And mine is kind of a frenetic, nice guy style. So yeah, what I love is finding people. We have a storytelling open mic here in LA called Chill Vibes, and it's the only storytelling open mic in LA, and it's gone for like 3 years. And I love finding people that come there because they just want to connect, or they just want to work things out, or they're a comedian looking to change their stuff up. And I found another performer. She's more of a comedian, not really in the storytelling community, but she could, you hate this word, vibe, but she could set the vibe of a room like a superhero does coming into a space. Like when Superman lands or when Wonder Woman lands and everybody just goes, and she controls the feel, the emotion, the emotive quality of the whole room immediately. I had to have her on Frank, no matter what she said. It's like, I want that. Whatever you got there,
Right.
whatever you say afterwards, we'll figure that out. But whatever you have, that aura, that's a storytelling thing. I have another friend, I call it, you remember those commercials by E.F. Hutton? When E.F. Hutton speaks,
everybody listens. Yeah.
That was her kind of style. She would get your attention and not say anything, and everyone would just kind of listen to close in. I mean, everyone is so different, and it's so magical, and no one's trying to copy each other. I think in comedy, if you're not careful, you end up copying your favorite comedian. And I know comedians spend a lot of time finding their own voice, and they're finding their own communication style. And I find that to be a lot easier in storytelling because you're not looking to make it funny. You're just looking to connect however you can.
Well, because I guess because I'm in the comedy business, one of the things I'd like about storytelling is in regular stand-up, they're expecting you to get a laugh like every 10-15 seconds.
Yeah.
And with storytelling, I may go 30 or 40 seconds without a laugh, because I'm setting up a world so that you can start understanding why we're about to laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm world building, like you said, I'm world building. And now once you understand the world, now you know why things are funny. Because
Right.
before I could do it, but you don't know why things are funny. And so you may not laugh until you say, wait a minute, in this world, this is funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that what's interesting about stand up and getting laughs in general, you never know when they're going to happen. And what you think is going to be the laugh isn't the laugh. And sometimes it's a look, sometimes it's a pause, sometimes it's a
yes.
sound. I was doing this story at Chill Vibes and I made a mistake. It was about me being caught between two people arguing, right? And what I wanted to say was it was like being trapped in a hot sandwich, like I was the middle of the sandwich, and I said it's like being trapped between two hot sandwiches, and it didn't make any sense. And I realized in a split second it didn't make any sense, but it was so bizarre that and everyone knew what I meant
Right.
that it just got a huge laugh. And you never know when that stuff is going to happen. And I don't know if you can ever replicate that, or if you try to replicate that, you just become better at improving and working around your material. But it's when people say you have to do your time in front of people, it's true because you never know what's going to work. You think you do, and then it reads something. I made a comment last night. One of the storytellers really enjoyed, she thanked me for creating a safe space for her. And I walk up and I think that I'm going to get a laugh, and I said, well, I really appreciate that, because from a lot of people I'm just a big scary white man because I'm 6'2". I'm a big scary, I have this brow and semi-square jaw. And I thought I would get a giggle, and people were just, they felt sorry for me. I thought, oh, wrong audience, right? They're not, it's the wrong moment. That moment doesn't play like a joke. It would be a joke if I had them in a different point, but it's really interesting reading the room and playing the room and
Yeah.
playing emotions.
I was looking for something because I wanted to show you something because what you was talking about. I don't know if you can. Oh, I didn't mean to. Shouldn't have turned my head away from my microphone. I'm grabbing some papers just for. Okay, let's see here. Is this? Oh no, these are. Wow. Okay, I kid you not. I have been looking for these papers for a long time, and I couldn't find them. I reached in my drawer blindly, feeling around looking for something else, and I find these papers.
Nice.
What it
Magic.
is? Okay, I'll tell you what these papers are, just for the audience. That um, this is the indictment. This is the indictment of a politician. I read the entire indictment, and then I did jokes on it. So, like for example, now the jokes are not on this. This is just the actual indictment. I will like what's like the United States Secret Service provided protection services to blah 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 blah, and it just did the whole thing, and then I do a joke on it, and there's 90 pages of, and like each, but I did this. Well, at any rate, that's what that is, and I've been looking for this for a long time. At least I know where that is. I don't know if I could. Now, what I'll see if I can find what I was looking for. One of them. Wow, I've been looking in the wrong places for stuff. Son of a bitch. I need to look for things. All right. Well, when I write scripts for my sets, they're like I have a show in Michigan. I have like 30 pages of stuff. I highlight every place where I expect a reaction. Not every time is supposed to be a laugh. Sometimes I want people to go like, ooh, or I want them to go like, oh, or but every time, every reaction, I highlight every place I expected a reaction. And then occasionally, like I said, sometimes I'll be in the middle of a setup and I'll say something and it gets a laugh, and I have no idea how. And I video record almost everything I do. I have terabytes, literally terabytes of video of me performing, so that when those things happen, I can go back and say, did I do something with my face? Was it, so that I can replicate.
That's commitment. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, and you can see how famous I am now, so it's really paid off.
Yeah. Yeah. I am not that. I go to this open mic, Chill Vibes, every week to work out a new story. And what I've done is I've now made it so I can formulate a story out of anything, out of any moment on the way to Chill Vibes or after Chill Vibes. And in that way, it's helped me a lot with, I guess, improv in storytelling, or making
Right.
a beginning, middle, end, and a point out of anything. But to work stuff like you're talking about, which I've heard people do, it's amazing to see how people's brains work and what works for them,
Yeah.
and what would drive another person crazy, right? I think that stuff would drive me crazy, but I have been having to take headshots now, so I've been looking at my face and what are the corners of my lips doing,
Yeah.
and how can I be more model, like my blue steel, I'm looking for my blue steel.
Yeah, it's now. I'm trying to think. Is there anything? I'm just trying to make sure there's anything else I wanted to cover. Because for the most part, I think it's funny because at this point I want to talk about the Moralist book, but you actually talked about the Moralist book in and out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is when you bring up the Moralist book, I'll just show the cover.
Nice.
And where that's available. I know you can get it through your website.
Books.by. Books.by. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will bring that up. But like I said, I appreciate you doing this with me. I mean,
it's been fun.
Is there anything that you want that we didn't cover that you want to cover before we say goodbye?
No, I think we're good. I forgot a camera at the theater last night, so I got to go. Pick that thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Well, next time I'm in California, I'm about to look you up and check so I can check out one of your storyteller things.
Yeah, that would be fun. Please do.
All right. So this Glen Dunzweiler, thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye.